Welcome to Journey Realty Group. If you're here, chances are you're thinking about buying a home, or at least wondering how long it takes to go from "I want to buy a house" to "here are my keys." The truth? Buying a home isn't an overnight process. It's a journey that requires planning, patience, and preparation. Some buyers can close a deal in a matter of weeks, while for others it can take several months or even years. In this video, we're going to break down the entire home buying timeline, step by step, from financial preparation to closing day. By the end, you'll have a clear picture of what to expect and how to navigate this process efficiently. So, whether you're a first-time home buyer or an experienced investor, stick around as we demystify the timeline of buying a home. Let's get started. Part 1, laying the foundation, 3 to 6 months before buying. Before you even start looking at homes, you need to lay the groundwork. Rushing into a home purchase without proper preparation can lead to financial stress, lost opportunities, or even buyer's remorse. Step 1, evaluating your financial readiness, 1 to 3 months. 1, check your credit score and improve it if necessary. Your credit score is one of the biggest factors lenders use to determine your mortgage eligibility. A 620 plus score is typically the minimum for conventional loans. A 704 plus score will get you the best mortgage rates. If your score is below 580, you may need to improve it before getting approved. Ways to improve your score. A. Pay off outstanding debt, especially credit cards. Avoid opening new credit accounts before applying for a mortgage. Check your credit report for errors and dispute inaccuracies. Real-life example, Sarah, a first-time buyer, checked her credit score 6 months before house hunting and found a missed payment from 2 years ago was lowering her score. After disputing it and paying off some debt, she boosted her score by 40 points, saving her thousands in interest over the life of her mortgage. Step 2, building your savings 3 to 6 months before buying. You'll need more than just a down payment to buy a home. Here's what to save for. Down payment, typically 3 to 20% of the home price. Closing costs, usually 2% to 5% of the home price. Moving expenses, truck rental, movers, new furniture, etc. Emergency fund, at least 3 to 6 months worth of living expenses for unexpected costs. Example, for a 300,000 home, here's a rough breakdown of savings needed. Down payment, 10%, $30,000. Closing costs, 4%, $12,000. Moving and emergency funds, $5,000 plus. Total needed around $47. Step 3, getting pre-approved, 2 to 4 weeks before house hunt. Once your finances are in order, the next step is getting pre-approved for a mortgage. Pre-approval versus pre-qualification. Pre-qualification is a basic financial overview. Pre-approval is an in-depth lender review of your financial history. Why pre-approval matters? It shows sellers you're a serious buyer. You'll know exactly how much home you can afford. It speeds up the process once you find a home. Real-life scenario. Michael and Lisa were competing with multiple buyers for a home in a hot market. Because they were pre-approved, the seller chose their offer over a higher bid from a buyer who didn't have financing in place. Step 4, searching for the right home, 4 to 12 weeks or more. House hunting can take anywhere from a few weeks to several months. It depends on market conditions. In a seller's market, homes sell fast and competition is fierce. Your criteria. The more specific you are, the longer the search might take. Your schedule. Weekend-only house hunting might slow things down. Tips to speed up the search. Make a list of must-haves versus nice-to-haves. Tour homes virtually and in person. Work with a knowledgeable real estate agent. Example, Julia and John had been searching for a home for months and felt frustrated. After revisiting their list of priorities, they narrowed their must-haves down to a big backyard, 3 bedrooms, and proximity to work. Within weeks, they found their dream home, cutting their search in half. Step 5, submitting an offer and dealing with counteroffers. Once you find the one, it's time to make an offer. Typical offer timeline. Offer submitted 1 to 2 days. Seller response 1 to 3 days. Negotiations up to 1 week. Common negotiation tactics. Offer above asking price in a competitive market. Request seller concessions like covering closing costs. Include an earnest money deposit, typically 1 to 3% of the home price. Example, Karen and Tim put in an offer on a home listed for $350,000. The seller countered with $360,000, but they were only willing to go up to $355,000. After a few back and forths, they agreed to meet in the middle at $357 to $500, which helped them secure the home without pushing their budget too far. Step 6. Home inspection and appraisal, 2 to 3 weeks. Once your offer has been accepted, it's time to dive deeper into the property. This phase involves 2 critical steps: the home inspection and the appraisal. These steps are usually done shortly after the contract is signed and can take anywhere from 1 to 3 weeks to complete. Home inspection. What you need to know. A home inspection is one of the most important aspects of the home buying process. During this time, a certified home inspector will thoroughly check the property for any potential problems, like issues with the roof, foundation, plumbing, electrical system, and more. Typical inspection costs $300 to $500, depending on the size of the home and location. Inspection timeline. 1 to 2 days for the inspector to complete their work, but you will likely receive the report within 3 to 5 days after the inspection. What happens if there are issues? If significant issues are found during the inspection, you may need to 1. Negotiate repairs. The seller may agree to fix the issues before closing or offer a price reduction. 2. Request seller concessions. Sometimes the seller will give you a credit to address the problem yourself. 3. Cancel the deal. If the issues are major and you're uncomfortable with the property, you have the right to back out, though you may lose your earnest money deposit. Example, during an inspection of a $400,000 home, the buyer discovered that the roof was leaking and would cost over $10,000 to repair. The seller agreed to reduce the price by $8,000 and the buyer covered the remaining cost of repairs. Appraisal, ensuring the home's value. An appraisal is conducted by a licensed appraiser to determine the current market value of the property. The lender needs this information to ensure the home is worth the loan amount. The appraisal protects you, ensuring you don't pay more than the house is worth. Appraisal cost typically ranges from $300 to $600.
Appraisal timeline.
The appraisal typically takes 5 to 7 days to complete, with the results available within 1 to 2 weeks. What if the appraisal comes in low? The appraisal comes back lower than the agreed upon price. This can lead to complications. Negotiation with the seller. You may request the seller to reduce the price to match the appraised value. Appraisal dispute. You may request a second opinion from the appraiser if there are inconsistencies. Additional down payment. If the seller doesn't budge, you might have to increase your down payment to make up the difference. Real life example. Emily and Jake were buying a home listed for $350,000. The appraisal came back at $340,000. The sellers refused to lower the price. So Emily and Jake agreed to increase their down payment by $5,000 to make the deal work, which allowed them to proceed with the sale. Step 7. Final loan approval and closing day, 2 to 4 weeks. Once the inspection and appraisal are complete, and you've negotiated any necessary repairs or adjustments, it's time for the final approval and closing day. At this stage, your lender will review the entire package: inspection results, appraisal report, and any updates to the contract. If everything checks out, you will receive final loan approval. Loan approval timeline, 1 to 2 weeks, depending on the lender, and if any issues arise, like delays in paperwork. Documents you'll need: pay stubs, tax returns, bank statements, and any other information the lender requests. The lender will also lock in your interest rate and confirm the final terms of the loan. Final walkthrough, ensuring everything's in order. Before closing, you'll do a final walkthrough of the property. This is your chance to make sure everything is in the condition you expect. What to look for: ensure that agreed upon repairs were completed, the home is in the same condition as when you last saw it, and there are no new issues. Final walkthrough timeline. This typically happens within 24 hours of your closing date. Closing day, you're almost there. Closing day is the big moment. You'll finalize everything, sign the paperwork, and take possession of your new home. This step can typically take 1 to 2 hours, but it depends on the complexity of your deal. What happens on closing day? 1. Sign the paperwork. You'll sign several documents, including your mortgage agreement, title transfer forms, and disclosures. 2. Final payments. You'll need to pay your down payment, closing costs, and possibly prepaid taxes or homeowners insurance. 3. Transfer of ownership. After the paperwork is signed and funds are transferred, you'll officially become the owner of the property. Fun fact: closing can happen remotely in some cases. Thanks to technology, buyers and sellers can sign documents online and transfer funds without ever stepping foot in an office. Closing thoughts. How long does it really take? We've covered a lot of ground today, so let's quickly summarize. 1. Preparation phase. Expect to spend 3 to 6 months getting your finances in order, improving your credit, and saving for the down payment. 2. House hunting. This phase could take 4 to 12 weeks, depending on market conditions and how specific you are about your home criteria. 3. Making an offer. Once you find the right home, submitting an offer and dealing with any counter-offers may take 1 to 3 weeks. 4. Closing the sale. After an offer is accepted, you can expect 30 to 60 days to wrap everything up, with final loan approval, home inspection, appraisal, and closing procedures. How long does it really take to buy a home? In total, the process can take anywhere from 3 to 9 months, depending on your readiness, market conditions, and how smoothly each phase goes. Conclusion: the path to home ownership is a marathon, not a sprint. Buying a home is an exciting and rewarding journey, but it's definitely a process that requires patience and planning. While it can take several months, following these steps and staying organized will help you move efficiently toward your dream home. What's your biggest challenge when it comes to buying a home? Share your thoughts and questions in the comments. We love hearing from you. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to stay updated with more home buying tips from Journey Realty Group. We're here to guide you every step of the way. Thanks for watching, and happy home hunting.